welcome to our channel again. Now in this video I kind of want to show you the process. I mean you can see in my screen I'm basically taping my screen today, so you can see what we've been working on and how it changes from the original video into, you know, the process of dubbing it into Icelandic. Now this is really exciting. Hopefully you like this too. Now to start, I'm going to make my screen smaller because I'm basically not the I'm not the main character in this video. So I'm going to be describing basically what we're doing, and just so you have a little bit of that you're into context, I basically want to share with you that we're working right now in 40 episodes. So if we go here, their original name in English is Gracelink, and for Icelandic we're changing it to Bibliosögur, which means Bible stories. You know, if you know Icelandic, you will tell me not, you know, that I need to pronounce it correctly. Now, this is what we're doing, and this is the episodes that we have. Let me move my window over here. So we have 40 episodes over here, and this is the original titles in English. Now, each story we have over here the original video in English, and then we have the basically the whole text typed, transcribed in English, which is the original language, and then basically we divide it into paragraphs or lines so it can be translated into Icelandic. Now this process, of course, we need we need volunteers to help us with this, and volunteers have signed up to do this. And we basically break out the episode into scenes, and basically we have the column of, you know, or dialogue in English, the original version, and then what we want to change it to in Icelandic. We have the element, the voiceover of the character who's speaking, and the sound effects that are going to be added. Now, just for as a point of reference, I also want to show you how the original looks like. I think I have it here. I can play it here. Just a little bit of this. So we have, you know, the theme song. We have the graphics going on, the animations, really happy colors.
Hi everyone.
And then we have the voiceover of the person telling the story in English. We have, of course, the title of the story as a graphic in English, and then we have our Bible verse, and this is also a graphic, and the person is reading it.
God created the heavens,
you know, with this really nice, soothing voice.
Today's message
then we have our message for the story, which is God is love. It's, you know, the lesson. It's there. It's also in English, and then we have the story itself. Now, this is really interesting because
no light.
I don't know if you noticed, but this one doesn't have any sound effects. So basically, it's just the voice of the person who's talking. And
that is just
let me go back to it a little bit.
Is written upon all he has made. Have you ever been in a very dark place? No light.
Do you notice that? So the kid turns off the light and there's no sound of that light switch. Please remember that. We'll keep going.
Where? That is just what it was like when God began to create our world.
This is supposed to be dark.
God looked at the dark, watery space.
This is the creation video, so of course it starts from zero, from nothing, and then of course the world is created by God. And so you know, of course we have all of this. So these videos, it's like an average of 5 minutes, and of course we have a beautiful, beautiful animation. This was not made by us, but we are authorized, where we have permits to use this content and to dub it. And then, of course, we have the development of the story. You know, we also have, while God is creating the earth and everything on earth. He basically speaks, right? So there's a dialogue over there, but everything is said by the same person who's telling the story. So that's something that we also added to our version in Icelandic, and I'm going to show you in a bit. When the story ends, all of the story,
Very good.
it's just
This
basically
was the
just the voice.
sixth day of
She's
creation.
just telling her
God
story.
made the world in 6 days.
And then
When
towards
he
the end,
finished making
as
it
she's closing the
beautiful,
story,
he gave it to Adam
you
and
can
Eve.
hear
When we see the one,
the theme music at the end, and of course the credits. We cannot forget the credits, and of course all the hard work that it's put into it. Please put the credits. And that's the end of our video. Now, this is just such a quick look, of course, of the video, and as you can see over here in our script, we have all of this done into Icelandic. Now, for the beginning of the video, as I mentioned, there's the name, there's the Bible verse, and the message of the story. And all of that, everything that goes into a graphic, we also want to have it into graphic in Icelandic. Why not? So our translators here put it in Icelandic, so I can just copy and paste, because of course Icelandic is not my first language, so I struggle with that a little bit. So I need extra help, and they were so nice to help me with it. And this is why it says graphic and voiceover. And now that it's the dialogue, it's just the voiceover. In this particular story, as I said, we have the person who tells the story, and we have another character, which is God, because God creates the earth. And so whenever God speaks, we put a part for him to say it, and then you can tell the difference between the person who's telling the story and our character. In this case, it's God. And I'm really excited to show you how it goes. So this is how it looks on paper, and every episode has this document. And then of course we have, or in the column for sound effects, we put some notes in there. Soft reverb, space, light, something that gives us an idea of that we're in space. And then it's really funny having to interpret something visual into something into audio. In this case, light. It sounds kind of funny, but you're gonna see how we kind of solve that one. And then of course animals, those are pretty straightforward. Oh, I think I moved the column over there, sorry. And so we have for animals, it's a little bit more straightforward. Birds, many birds. And then we have water, birds, animals, dogs, cow. The animation itself gave us the idea of what sound effects to add and look for. And of course, we downloaded all of these sound effects from websites in which, of course, we have a subscription, and we're allowed to use them with no problem whatsoever. We really have to be careful on what we're using, that we're actually either giving credit to, giving credit to the people who did the work, and also, making sure that it's legal, all of this that we're adding to our videos, to our material. Now, let me show you a little bit of background. We also have, let me show you this. We have, this is a form where translators can come over and sign up if they want to volunteer to translate these episodes, and this is what we used. And of course, we had our characters. This is all done by volunteers, and we're so grateful for all of them. They were amazing, and this gave us an idea of basically all the characters that are in our 40 episodes, and if they have recorded it already or we needed to do it. So we have episodes 1 to 20 and 21 to 40, and then maybe you recognize some names over there. And as you can see, we have almost all of them done. 98% of them are done. And so we're really, really happy for that. Thank you to all of you who collaborated with us. We really, really, really appreciate it. Now, let me tell you, not enough of paper, right? Let's actually check the results. So that was episode 1, and let me show it to you basically how it ended up being. Once you once you import something to Final Cut, which is where we edit everything, it looks, let me show you how it looks, because I kind of want you to see it. Now, let's do one sample. We're going to create a sample over here. So this is basically how it looks. We're going to import it from our original files. So this is obviously done already, but we're gonna import our original file. Now this is what it looks like, right? We saw it. We saw it all the way, and so this is how it looks like. It's just video and sound together. And even if we want to separate the video from the audio, you can still see just the one line for each, one for video, one for audio. Pretty straightforward because it's already done, right? I honestly cannot imagine how much work it went into all of this animation. I can totally see it, and I really appreciate it. Now, for for us, we just did the audio part and, of course, a little bit of graphic. And I want you to see the difference from one to the other. The other one was just one line. This is what it looks like afterwards. So now you can see that we added, first of all, our logo, which goes over here in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to play over here, which is basically this logo. They also added their logo over here, gracelink.net. And because we're using it for the Hope channel and we have permission to use it, and we're doing this production of dubbing it, that's why we can add our Hope channel logo over here. So we put that all throughout the story. Also, as you saw, we had graphics in English. So we wanted to have all of these same graphics, but in Icelandic. I want people who don't speak English to be able to understand every single part of the story, starting with the presentation of it, the introduction to our video. So I'm gonna play it a little bit. So as you can see, well, the video is really, really high, and I don't want to talk on top of it. But as you can see, there's different layers that I need to do to cover this. So I'm gonna move my camera a little bit over there because it's not important to have it out there, and I need that space. So basically, there's a few layers that go on top of it. Now let me explain to you what they are, and by doing so, I'm gonna hide all of them so you can see the before and after. So this is without any of the layers that I added. This is just visually. Of course, in the vision part, it's not even going into the sound. But in the graphics, I basically had to add all of this because, as you can see, the idea is that Gracelink presents. Now, for their purpose in the original video, it was only Gracelink who was doing the video. In this case, this is for the Hope channel. So now that we merged the two, Gracelink and Hope channel, I needed to say Hope channel Iceland and Gracelink presents. And all of this needs to be in Icelandic, right? But since I don't have the original animation, I have to put layers on top to basically cover it. In this case, I'm gonna cover presents with this graphic over here. As you can see, you see it, you don't see it. So I have to put this, literally it's a rectangle. I don't know if you can see it. It's a rectangle that I can move on and off, right? It's a rectangle that covers it. I don't know, over there. It's seamlessly. I'm gonna do that because maybe I didn't position it correctly. Sometimes I have to go really, really close, zoom in, to make sure that it's not covering something that I don't want it to cover. And so this is me covering the word in English. Now I covered it, but I also wanted to say present in Icelandic. I got, of course, some help from people, and they said that it's Kina. Of course, I want to add my logo that says Hope Channel Iceland. And for this one, I added, if you can see over here in my logo, I put, the edges, the outlines in black, just to mimic the style of this animation. And because I wanted to look like it was organically together, even though I put it afterwards. So I took the reference from the words over here, Gracelink, which are in white. They're thick, and the outline it's in thin black. So this is basically the style that I copied, so it can look seamlessly, and it's the same style throughout. And of course, I have to put end because it's not, Hope Channel, Gracelink, the phrase completely needs to say, sorry, it has to say end. So it's Hope Channel Iceland och Gracelink Kina. They both present. And then, of course, I have to add my logo over here in the corner. So that's why I added all throughout. It's not my logo here in the bottom. It's not as bright as this white, so I put it a little bit transparent, just like Gracelink.net over here in the corner, and we're good to go. So that scene is done, and I have to make sure that it covers all the frames that this scene is going on. So if I go a little bit closer, I have to make sure that it doesn't go over this scene, because it cannot go over this scene, because then you see the little square covering over here the foot. So I have to make sure that it's really not covering that part. Okay, so from one change to the other, from one shot to the other, I have to make sure that I have all the elements within that shot. So it's very, very detailed. And then I go back to zoom out a little bit in my timeline. And then what do they present? Hope Channel Iceland och Gracelink Kina vad? Well, they present our story, Bibliosögur, right? This is our title in Icelandic, Bibliosögur. So for this one, I just created a logo for the whole series that we're going to be using for everything. This is our main logo. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you noticed something with the colors of our logo. I literally just took the color of this girl's shirt and this boy's shirt, and I just created a gradient, something that captures the attention of everybody, children and grown-ups. And then I just, everything throughout uses the white to elevate. And I wanted it to stand out from other titles, because this is the main title, right? This is not just, it presents. No. This is why I used a different style, which is a gradient from purple to blue. And this is colors that are used consistently throughout the animations, so people can identify with them. And they're just fun colors, and you can see the difference with the whites. So I really, really liked it. In this case, it's moving up because the next scene is going to be the kids running towards Jesus. So they need to, Bibliosögur was really, really low. And if I left it at the same height, it was going to cover Jesus's face, and we don't want that. So the scene works perfectly. Again, we don't want one graphic to go into another shot, so we have to be really, really careful and detail into which frames it goes over. So this is the title, Bibliosögur, and it merges into our next shot, which is the same kids running towards Jesus, and Jesus being happy to just like, hey, you guys, ready for your story? So they're running towards Jesus. Now, our next shot is title. Do you notice that? Yeah. We have a cloud. This is for our next shot. So this is not supposed to be here, right? So we have to move that one back, Went back. Hold on. Oh, I see what's happening. Let me bring this out because this is within the group of this title. So I need to bring this out. Hold on. I'll make this correction really quickly. And of course, this works like any layer program works like. So basically, if you put, for example, if I put the cloud on top of the title, then it's going to cover the title. You're not going to be able to see it. But if you put the title on top of the cloud, it's in its right place, right? So this is how basically it works. But look at that, we caught something. See how the title and the cloud are on top of Jesus's face? Well, we don't want that. So let's drag that one frame. Hold on, let me go. My computer is a little bit slow. It's working very hard. So we're gonna move it just one frame, and now it's not there, right? But we also need to then drag the title one more frame so it's within that same shot. Hey, we did a correction. That's awesome. And of course, let me add the transition that I deleted there. Let me add it there. It's done. So it's going to like kind of appear on top of it. Now, why did we... I'm going to put it faster. There you go. It doesn't, I don't think I have it in all the other videos, so I don't mind not having it there. Okay. So what would it look like without that cloud? I don't know if you remember, I'm going to hide this, but the title, we have the graphic over there in English. We have it in English. So if everything is in Icelandic, we need a title in Icelandic. And again, because I don't have the original animation videos, I cannot go in and just like, you know, delete a new world and then just type it in Icelandic. I cannot do that. So what I have to do is just patch it up. And I again, guys, I have authorizations to do all of these changes. So please make sure that you have permits to change original work, because original work, you know, takes time, and you need to have that in writing, and we do have that, so we can do this. So if I put the title on top, of course, there's in the background, you can see it, and the way that we solved it was, let's just create a cloud. I mean, it's the sky. I mean, we can have, as you can see, not every graphic is outlined, as I mentioned. You know how the letters are outlined by black. And then you can also have things in the background outlined, you know, like this bush, the stone over here, the ground. But sometimes you have part of the background that are not outlined, like this mountain over here in the background. It's the full color, but it's not outlined, which is telling you that gives you the effect that it's far, far away. Now, things are furthest away, visually speaking. You don't even, maybe you don't stop to think about these things, but there's a reason why you have certain elements or you don't have certain elements in production. And this is one of those little subtle things. And as you can see, all of these clouds in the skies, they're not even outlined. Do you see that? So basically we're combining both styles of the clouds and the mountain to create this mountain. This cloud, which is going to allow us to cover the graphic in English. And we're going to be using the 3D of the cloud many times to cover things in English, so we can put our title in Icelandic. And you know, it's just seamlessly.
Halló öll sömur, þátturinn í dag heitir Nýr heimur.
I don't know if you also notice, I'm going to go to the audio part over here, but we're not using the same song. Part of this was because the original song that was used is really nice. It's really nice. Oh, that's something that we added. It's really, really nice, but the problem was that the person who spoke in English in the original video spoke on top of the song.
Hi everyone,
Can you hear
it's
it?
Aunt Fernita. Today,
So you can listen to the song while she's speaking, and it sounds amazing. It sounds really nice. But in in order for us to do the dubbing version, we would have to like speak on top of the audio of the song, or just get the original song and then just add that effect of, the person in Icelandic speaking on top of that original song. But that's something that the original creators of these stories could not find the song for some reason. We talked to so many people, we couldn't find it, so we just added a new song with permission from them as well. And so we just added a new theme song, and it's this one. And then over there, I just added the sound effect of children, because children are happy and they're running towards Jesus. So I was like, I think that's a good spot to put it. And then the audio goes down. I mean, the song goes down, so the audio, so the narrator can, so the narrator's voice can be stand out, and that's basically how we solved it. And then we have the same effect of she's having the background music, and then having being in that mood, in that happy mood that the song helps you to be in, and it's just that's how it
Halló
works.
öllsumir, þátturinn í dag heitir Nýr heimur.
Once she stops talking or makes a pause, then we bring the music up, and then we bring it back down when she's speaking again.
Biblíutextinn úr fyrstu Mósebók, fyrsta kafla, fyrsta vers. Það segir
For the Bible verse, we did something very similar. We covered the English version with the graphic, and then we just added the the words on top in Icelandic. And then we did something very similar over here to add the lesson of the day. As you can see, we had to add this scene. It's very similar. The only difference is that in the original one, we have a bird that flies into the scene. Now, this makes it very complicated because he flies underneath the text, and we need to cover it with something on top of the text. And if we do that, when we do that, we cover the bird. And so Jesus is just extending the hand, and it just looks very weird. So we had to find an intro with the bird that was already standing on Jesus's hand. So that way, when we cut into it, it's still kind of covering his head when he does a close-up, but it's not fully on covering the bird while it's flying in. So all of these little details we're taking into consideration when dubbing this. So this is just the intro, you guys. And I just want to close with this, show you what this did. So basically, I'm going to hide the audio so you can hear it when the kid turns off the light. Now with the audio of the person her narrator.
Það ekkert ljós. Á dimmum stað. Það ekkert ljós. Þannig
So it goes all together.
Byrjaði.
So all throughout the story, we added sound effects. We had to cut some parts because the narrator in English was speaking a little bit slower, so we had to cut it. So there were no awkward silences, but all the content of the story are there. All the scenes are there. And then we just added the sound effects of, trees and water and we also added music over there to just inspire you and just really bring you to pay attention to the words, and so you can feel the words, not just see them and hear them, but also feel them. That's what music does, right? So all of this music we're using with permission, and it's just really, really interesting. As you can hear, that's God speaking, and so we just have all of this on top, and it just makes the story richer, and it adds so many layers to it. I think I don't want to go longer with this video. This has been very technical, I understand, These are, our collaborators in the credits, because, credit where credit is due. And we also included the original credits because, of course, there would have been no Biblia So Good videos without Gracelink. So we added those, and of course we closed with our Hope Channel Iceland logo. Oh, well, this is it for today. Hopefully you liked this video, you enjoyed it, and I'm so happy to be able to bring this to you. And as you can see, we've been working. Let me move this again. We've been working in so many videos. We're almost done, but it's just so much in detail work that goes into it. So many elements, sound effects and graphics that we have to do to cover it. And each episode has its own challenge. So we just go there with fresh eyes and we try to do our best so we can bring the best product for Hope Channel Iceland. I'm really happy that you saw all of this video. If you like it, please click the like button, subscribe, and share, and then we'll just see each other next time. We can go over the rest of the episode, and I can just edit one from scratch. It will take a couple of hours maybe. If you're willing to do that, you can put in the comments below that you would like to see that, and I can put the time in. I don't have a problem with that, if you don't mind listening to my voice for that long a time. Thank you guys for watching, and have a very, very nice day. Sjáumst!